The Los Angeles Lakers are up 3-1 on the Memphis Grizzlies as the 7th seed. And this win was not pretty whatsoever. And I kid you not, for midway through the second quarter, throughout the third quarter, I did not receive that sense of urgency about going back to Memphis and then having to see them again, because we know what that team is about. I watched this game from start to finish, and off the gates, man, I really thought we had it easy. I thought we were just going to have a good shooting night. I thought we were just going to have like a great defensive night, and then everything would be smooth from that point on. But no, the Lakers are never that simple, and the Lakers will never not allow that to be, a stress-free night. Let's give props to LeBron James. He hit the game-tying shot to send it into overtime. He only took 18 shots in 45 minutes tonight. He had 7 free throws, but 20 rebounds, a career high for LeBron. In the playoffs, 7 assists, only 1 turnover. This is not the typical LeBron that we see. LeBron just was looking like a big man out there, man, and I appreciate it. You can really say if we don't get out to that hot start that we did in the beginning of the game, we would have gotten blown out. Jared Vanderbilt, very early in the game, helped us get to that hot start, and I appreciate him for that. And he had some great defense to start out as well, but then we look at the remainder of the game that he played, only played 19 minutes, had a minus 18, lowest on the team, I believe. Although his substitute, Rui Hachimura, had a plus 18. And look, he's been hooping this whole series, hitting his shot, hitting his open shots, especially hitting difficult twos, because he is one of the best 2-point shooters in the league, if you do not know. But for him to have a 2-for-9 outing and have a positive 18, really, you would have to watch this game to really understand his impact. He does grab very important defensive rebounds, and he has really been great on Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson has had very mediocre performances since the assignment for Rui Hachimura has been him. And now don't even get me started on Anthony Davis. This man didn't even have a field goal in the first half, and he ended up shooting 4 of 13. He missed a couple actually pretty important free throws too. Overall, the whole Lakers unit played great defensively. Again, we can go down this whole entire roster. Anthony Davis, credit I'm giving you this game. Actually, let me reiterate this. The whole roster, other than maybe Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Now, Austin Reeves played fine offensively, and D'Angelo Russell down the stretch when he hit them 3 straight threes to keep us in this game. Oh my goodness, bro. I was doubting you all night. I've been doubting you this whole series, and I thank you for doing that. But I do got to keep it a buck. Maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's because Darvin Ham was keeping you in the game when you weren't doing so hot, right? Either end at the time. But we had Rui Hachimura sitting there on the bench, who would have been a much better fit in that lineup closing until you got fouled out. But again, you hit them threes. Then when we saw Dennis Schroeder in the time that he played, he had a few costly turnovers that were very hard to endure watching. But now we need to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies a little bit, because this is a team that talks a lot. Y'all know the infamous quote saying, "Oh, I'm fine in the West. You don't seem very fine in the West now." Yes, and I understand the injuries and all that has occurred, but I still have a friend who is a Memphis Grizzlies fanatic, and he bet me $100 on this series. He was that confident, so y'all should be too. Speaking to the fans of the Memphis Grizzlies, if you guys are listening, and I gotta be honest, right? I've said in a previous video that I am not a fan of the Phoenix Suns. I am also not a fan of the Memphis Grizzlies, which I feel like as an outsider fan, I feel like it's not that hard to understand why. You have first off Dylan Brooks, who talks absolutely crazy to everyone in the whole league. We all know calling LeBron old, saying you wish you could have guarded him in this time, and telling I need someone to drop 40 on me for me to respect them. That logically then, by your logic, no one respects you. It's very contradictory. And for you to have another outing where you shoot 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. We have people like Jaren Jackson getting clamped again, shooting 5 for 15, 0 for 4 from 3. I knew that shot was broke. In all seriousness, though, it was a very high, intense defensive game. So I'm not going to then slander them that much because, both teams didn't shoot well whatsoever. Desmond Bane, you can say he had a great game shooting or having 36 points and arguably being the best offensive player on the court. He shot 3 of of 12 from 3. But Ja Morant, 8 of 24 from the field, man. And this man, Ja Morant, we got to talk about him a little bit. Now, obviously, he's a great all-NBA talent level player, and he's very fun to watch, very athletic, and he can do a bit of everything on the court. But that basketball IQ is very suspect when I just see him going fast as possible all the time and trying to jump over people. Like, why are you trying to jump over LeBron James? Did you not just break your hand? I mean, props to you for doing everything that you absolutely can, but you need to chill out a little bit. Now, that does conclude the summary of information that I have to really discuss for today's game. As much as I want to be hopeful that my Lakers will go to Memphis and steal another game in that arena, I really cannot be that confident. There's a lot of things to be confident about, like the level of defense that we do play, the fact that we've been the best team in the NBA since the NBA trade deadline, the fact that our team does have the ability to go on these high scoring spurts and simultaneously play such great defense, but it just at some other times we get so cold and we're not able to maintain that level of play for 4 quarters ever. But the fact that we had such a bad game offensively and we still did pull it out, that makes me confident. It also does make me confident in the next series, considering we're either going against the Sacramento Kings or the Golden State Warriors, which are not very great defensive teams. And this Memphis Grizzlies team has shown to be very physical and very overwhelming at times on that side of the floor. And yes, even without many of their key players. It is just the inconsistency that I am worried about. Hopefully LeBron no more shooting 14% from 3. Because if he bumped that back to the average, and whew, Lakers to the finals, easy. Now that is everything that I wanted to talk about when it did come to this Lakers and Memphis Grizzlies series. So let me conclude with the episode by giving some props to Jimmy Buckets, dropping 56 points. And now they're about to defeat the number 1 seed and my favorites to win the championship this year with no help at all. They're an 8 seed and they're missing 2 key players as well. Might as well be 3 because what has Bam Adebayo been doing? Just shout out to Jimmy Butler. Now that we are at the end of the video, I want to say please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all for listening to this episode of the Boominverse, and peace out.